What is going on, everyone? We are back with another review, and this time we're reviewing Season 1, Episode 28 of the Twilight Zone. Please check the link in the description below, hop on over, and sign up to the Patreon if you want to get everything a full week early. So this episode was called A Nice Place to Visit. It was directed by Josh Bram, written by Charles Beaumont, and was released April 15th, 1960. It has N.A. as the composer for the episode. I don't know where I would rank this so far amongst overall, but Charles Beaumont, not his best, but so far from his worst. It's a decent episode. So to give you guys an idea of what happens, the main guy in the very beginning is robbing what appears to be like a pawn shop. And after robbing the pawn shop, you notice that he has what I'm pretty sure has killed the pawn shop owner and is running from the police, and in the process of running is shot 2 or 3 times. What appears to be hours later is woken up by a guy dressed all in white, and the guy dressed all in white tells him that he is his guide, so to speak, and the guy has no clue what he's talking about, pulls a gun on him and is like, all right, hand me your wallet. And the guy's like, I don't have any wallet, but what you want is money, right? And the guy's like, yeah, I want money. So he pulls a whole bunch of money out of his pockets and hands it to him. They then go to what is supposed to be his new place where he's going to be staying. They go inside the new place. There's this beautiful, almost apartment. And he's in this apartment. And the guy's showing him around all the apartment. The guy in white's showing the main guy around in the apartment, and he's like, this is beautiful. What did I ever do to deserve this? And as he goes through, he's like, all right, I want $1 million or however much money, millions, thousands, something like that, in 5G notes or something like that. And beautiful dames. And the guy in white's like, all right, check the desk drawer over there. He opens up the desk drawer. There's tons of money in there. He's like, what about the dames? And record player starts playing, and this lady comes out of nowhere, and they start dancing, and he's just like all super excited. So then after the commercial break, they come back, and he is in a gambling hall and winning on craps left and right. The ladies are excited because he's winning money. He's giving money out to the ladies everywhere. He then says he wants to go check out how the dice table's doing, but he stops off at a slot machine, puts money in the slot machine, tons of money falls out. He gives it to another lady, says, go buy you whatever you want for I think it was like $600 that he won in the slot machine, and then sends her on her way. And later on ends up towards his place, and once he gets back to his place, he asks the guy in the suit, who goes by Pip. I remember that much. He's like, Pip. He calls him Fats, is what he calls him. He says, there's no way I should be here. Like, this is just too good. And I don't think I did this well. He's like, unless I've done something, like, that outweighs the bad that I've done. Is there a way to find that out? And Pip is like, well, yeah, there's a hall of records that we can go check out. And he's like, can we? And it's like, yeah. So we go to all the records, and you find out like he killed a dog when he was younger. He put together a street gang at like 8 years old, and just did all this terrible stuff. And they only make it like a few line items in before finally he's like, yeah, I don't want to read anymore. He's like, I'm just gonna go do what I do. And then Pip looks at me and goes, okay, if you ever need me, dial Pip. And he's like, all right. So then it transitions to the next scene, and you see that he's playing at the crap table, and he's just bored of it. Like, he's not enjoying himself. He's still winning constantly, but he's just not having fun. He goes from winning all the time in that to progressively further. He gets into his bedroom with all the ladies that are sitting around, and they're playing card game. He's still winning the card games against them. They're like, oh, congratulations, you won. They're all excited for him, and finally he kicks him out because he's annoyed with them. He calls up Pip, and Pip's immediately like right by his face. It scares the crap out of him. And he's like, I want to I'm bored. I'm bored. Like, even at some point, like, a pool table appeared in his house, and he shot a game of pool, and the pool balls all went in on one go. He's like, I'm bored. There's no challenge to what I'm doing. He's like, I want to do something kind of like what I was doing before I died. And at this point, he'd already been told that he died. I forgot to mention that. He was told that he did die. So he knows he's in the afterlife. And as he's going through, he basically is like, look, I'm tired of winning all the time, and he finally reveals that he's going crazy. He's absolutely going nuts over constantly succeeding, and he's like, I want to visit the other place. He's like, the other place, I don't belong in heaven. I deserve to be in the other place, and I want to see what it's like. And the guy Pip finally looks at him. He's like, you thought you were in heaven? This is the other place. And then all of a sudden, he can't open up the door, and it was a predictable thing that he was going to enjoy. Like, I'd called it earlier in the episode. He's dead. He's in hell. But the way they painted it was everything is cool, and he's absolutely loving it until he realized there's no failing. There's nothing worth going for, and it drove him crazy. And that was the end of that. Like I said, this isn't Charles Beaumont's best story, so this is the last Charles Beaumont story in this season. I don't know if he does any in the second season. Yeah, he has some in the second season as well. Long Live Walter Jameson is still his best. Oh, by far. But this is still pretty decent, albeit a little predictable. Right? You knew he was dead. You knew he was in hell. It was just going to be how long was the facade going to be able to play out before he lost his shit. But yeah, a pretty interesting thing. And one of the things that this definitely made me think of on a completely different reason, had nothing to do with the actual specific episode itself, but it's just something I thought about while I was watching this. These episodes were probably recorded in 59, released in 1960, or maybe early 1960, because these came out in April. Depends on how long editing took back in the 50s, right? I don't know, 50s, 60s. I don't know how long or what the editing process was back then. But what I do know is at some point, I feel like these are going to be lost to people. Not literally. It'll be viewable. But I feel like, I really hope that they stick around for a long time for people to watch, because some of these are really interesting stories, even if they're not necessarily for me all the time. Like, I know I have a specific taste in sci-fi and or horror, and it doesn't necessarily align with what other people are looking for. Thankfully, this is one of the better episodes, as I had mentioned before, so there is that. But yeah. I am excited to see what's next, though, because it looks like Rod Serling's got a couple more. Like, we got a couple Rod Serling episodes. Then we've got one that has nothing to do with Rod Serling, and then 4 straight Rod Serling episodes, and then it ends with Richard Matheson. And I want to say, I think Richard Matheson did A World of Difference. Which one was A World of Difference? I liked that one a lot. So that has me excited, this season finale. A World of His Own. Which I think Rod Serling is in, if I remember correctly. Alright, anyways. That's going to do it, guys. We love you. We'll see you next time. Peace.